I am early today, everybody, and I don't even know who is going to join me today because I'm working. I am on the road and I have to find a coffee shop, and I can't even go in the coffee shop. It's only drive through. Now, they've got a Wi Fi connection, which is great. I got no problem with that. However, the where I am, um, I've got a Wi-Fi connection. I don't know how good it is. I'm sorry about doing this early, but I'm actually showing properties today, and I've been out since 8:30 this morning. So I thought I'd hop on now while I'm in between appointments, far from home, and I didn't want to miss it today because I do my best to do this for you guys. And honestly, 2 o'clock seemed to have worked for a little while, but I'm noticing that it's starting to get a little harder to get these to get the time in. But hopefully, maybe I'll put it out to a poll to see who doesn't mind maybe switching out to a different time, because I'm just trying to figure it out, trying to figure out schedules. So yeah. Anyways, a little crazy. So for any of you who are watching this after I record it, I want to apologize. Now, I guess what I'm talking about today, guys, is my video that went live today, and where it kind of came from, and some of the challenges that I went through. Now, a lot of you have been following me for a period of time. Some of you have been 9 months. Some of you have been a year, and some of you have just been recently. So just wanted to, whoever's on, I want to say thank you for joining. And what you can do is put your comments on the right-hand side, because I will answer those, okay? So I will answer your comments. And yeah, so anyways, just so you know that. Also, if you can hit the like button, that would also help the video, the channel, and help things grow, and it'll help me. So anyways, if you feel inclined to do so, I would appreciate that. Now, before I get into everyone else's questions, because I would like you to post your questions, regardless, let me know where you're from, where you're tuning in from, any challenges or things that you want to talk about with regards to maffetone training, or the topic that I'm going to talk about now, and that's weight loss. Because, guys, man, I don't know if you saw today's video, but man, I was fat, right? I was really, really not doing well a number of years ago, and I had to make some changes. Now, some of you have seen my story, and if you haven't, you can actually click in the description below. There should be a link in there to my story. But I wanted to kind of talk about, for runners who have weight that they have on them and are thinking about, how they can progress, how they can get through this time, because there's things in that video that I wasn't able to put in, because I was up until about, I think I went to bed at 5 o'clock this morning. I had to be up at 8, so I got 3 hours sleep, because I was putting I was making this video, and I was putting all of the details in there, and as I was going through it, it was getting longer and longer, and I'm like, I can't have this too long, because no one's going to watch, right? Or maybe some of you are going to watch, but I really want to make sure that I'm giving you good value, and I'm not kind of talking too much, and the videos aren't too long, and it's good quality for you guys. So I did cut out probably about 20 minutes. I cut out of there. So I'm going to talk about some of that today while I've got you all here. So one of the things that that happened while I was filming that video, I really started to have a lot of thoughts about what it was like being a runner who had so much weight to lose. And it was scary, guys. It was scary. Like I walked out one morning and walked a marathon. And not that I wanted to walk a marathon. I just put my headphones on and started going for a walk, and kind of got lost in my podcasts, my audiobook and music and all that kind of stuff. And I was far away from home. And then I had to walk all the way back, because it was kind of like an out and back. And anyways, it was a long walk. And when I finished, I honestly thought I was dying. Like it was awful. I was hallucinating. I had no water with me. It was August. It was like 31 Celsius. It was hot and humid, and I was miserable. Like it wasn't fun. But the next day, I went out and bought a new pair of shoes, and signed up to learn how to run. And I started doing the run walk method. And I would, walk for a minute, walk for a minute, and then I'd work my way up to running for 2, and then walking for 1, and then running for 3, and then walking for 1. And I worked my way up. And walking for before I got into running was great, and it helped. Now I juiced, guys. I don't know if you saw in the video, but I juiced. And as I juiced, I noticed I started to feel better. I wasn't as bloated as I was before. But when I dived in and I look at the detail as to what was going on, do you guys have like car noise? Because my engine keeps kind of going on and off because I got a hybrid. And let me turn it off, so maybe it'll be quieter for you. There you go. So I did that for a period of time, and then I kind of worked my way up, to getting fast, running more and more and more and more. And to kind of put the long story to rest, I really pushed through a lot of barriers, a lot of self-doubt, that I could become a runner because I had so much weight, right? I weighed 266 pounds, 100 pounds heavier. I was so awful. I mean, I'm not 166 right now. I mean, obviously I gained a little bit of weight, but I've kind of dropped down. I'm like 180 something, right? But I went from that all the way down. And then I ended up running my first marathon, and it was fantastic. But the thing is the next year I burned out, right? I burned out. And so going through this whole maffetone training has really, really taught me a lot. I've educated myself. I've become a student of the method, and it works. However, my diet doesn't necessarily hold true to a lot of what Phil talks about in his training, because I'm vegan, right? And so for me I'm not going to eat meat. So it was kind of hard for me at first to figure out how I could do this. But I did, and I did do it. And I had to incorporate a lot of avocados, guys, tons of avocados, and walnuts, pecans, cauliflower, asparagus, tomatoes, garlic, onions, things like that. And they were like low carb. So it was able to help me push through. But anyways, long story short, I've worked my way up to where I am today. So there was one thing that I didn't say in my video was I used not PayPal, my fitness pal, and that was able to help me track all of my calories. And it showed me how much food I could eat, and what I was eating, and what nutrients I was getting from the food. And the more that I saw it on my phone, the more excited I got. I'm like, hey, this is kind of cool. I can scan all my food because it's got barcodes, and it automatically puts it in. And I started to see what I was eating. And I was like, okay, now this makes a heck of a lot of sense, right? So that being said, I've stuck with it. I've used it when I've needed to use it, and then I've kind of forgotten about it from time to time. But that MyFitnessPal really, really works. The other thing that helped me was putting a journal, like a running journal together, not just Strava, but like a running journal that I was able to write some notes down as to how I was doing, how I was feeling, some of my feelings during those times. And looking back, it brings back memories as to how things went for me and what I was thinking at that time. But I would look back on that as I was running, and that helped me kind of stay on track. There was another thing that really, really spoke true to me with this whole training is your mindset, right? Like the words that we use every day, like if I say I can't, or I don't, or I hate, or all those kind of negative words, I have a different association with that. And I start, having that self-doubt and the belief, and it really kind of got to me. And I was like, I got to turn that off, right? I got to get rid of the negativity. I have to surround myself with positive things. So that's when I tuned out the news. I turned off the news. I never watched the news. I don't watch the news anymore. I mean, obviously I have to stay in touch with like current events with COVID and, real estate and stuff like that, but I've kind of stayed out of a lot of the negative news, right? I really, it drives me crazy. So I focus on positive stuff, right? And last night, when I was putting this, like that video that I just did for today, guys, that video took me 6 hours. Took me 6 hours to put that video together last night, and it still wasn't 100% what I wanted it to be. So there will be a follow up to that, but I didn't have any more bandwidth. I needed to get some sleep. I mean, 8 o'clock came really early. 3 hours sleep. So but you guys I do these videos for you guys, man, because you guys are keeping me honest. I appreciate all of you for tuning in, right? That's why I'm doing these videos. And to keep myself accountable, you're keeping me accountable. And it's a win-win for all of us, right? So anyways, I tried to make it the best I could. And hopefully you watched it as long as you possibly can, because again, the more that you guys watch of my video, like the more, like if you watch the whole entire length of my videos, Google really, really rewards me, and it suggests my videos more and more and more. And so the more what's known as watch time can happen, it really, really makes a difference. So, for all of you who have watched to the end, I really appreciate that, because it means so, so, so much to me. Okay. So I just thought I'd mention that to you guys. The other thing that it wasn't in there was a lot of the self-doubt. Like I didn't film that self-doubt, because I mean I did have some videos that I could have put in. I just couldn't find them. But I did have self-doubt, guys. I was a fat man. I was walking, and then I ended up running, and then all these other things happened in between. Juicing, right? That came along, and then faster workouts, and then burnout, right? Injuries, maffetone, like all of these things started to kind of play out, right? So, long story short, yeah, I'm way better off where I am today than I was before. And anybody who has weight can lose it if you have, like I said in my video, a big enough why. And if you write your why down, like, why are you running? Why are you doing this? It's like, why are you watching my videos, right? Like if you ask that, if you ask yourself that question, it's like me, why do I make these videos? Right? It holds me accountable, right? And again, it's the same thing for you guys, right? So it's a two-way street. And yeah, so I really appreciate everybody, and everyone's got a different journey, right? I'm not special, right? I'm just me, right? So you all have a different journey of how you got into running, and how you got into losing weight, or how all of a sudden you lost all the weight, but then something happened, and then you regressed and you gained it all back again because something happened in your life, right? You lost your why. And sometimes when you lose that why, all of a sudden your drive and motivation disappears. So you have to kind of reignite what that is. And that's why writing in journals is really important for me. That's what I found, right? So, okay. Anyways, I've done a lot of talking there, blah, 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 whatever. So let's go into some of the questions here, guys. I'm going to, I'll answer whatever questions you got coming my way. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. That's from the running guy. His name is Chris. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that, bud. Love your channel as well, man. You've been doing some great jobs there. Hold on. Priscilla, hello, all the way from Brazil. Woo! Brazil's in the house. Yes. I love Brazil. I see it, all the amazing photos and videos and the beautiful like country, what you guys have. And I'd love to visit there one day. It would be so cool. Maurice, hello from Ireland. Ireland. Awesome. I love Ireland. I mean, it's not too far from, Liverpool, where my parents were born and raised. So very cool. Wig tips. Bzz, hello from Guelph. Inspiring. Guelph, Ontario. Sweet. I'm going to say Guelph, Ontario, because I could be wrong, but Anyways, we do have Guelph, Ontario here. Maybe there's another one in the world, but Lynn, hello from Germany. Thanks for for posting your experiences with MEF. I practice it for 6 weeks now and feel great, especially after the long runs. I don't have to recover so long. See, that's awesome, right? It's amazing how fast our recovery time is. And if there is a recovery, right? Like, it just blows my mind that we can run for these crazy distances that we do and yet feel so fresh at the end of it. It's like, yeah, I could keep on going. That's what you want MAF to be, right? Yeah, so that's cool. Priscilla, because of the pandemic still going strong here, completely stopped my running for months. Feel sad because running means mental health for me. Thanks. I need this motivation. You know what? My prayers go out. Oops, hold on a second. Where are we here? I'm trying to hold up. My prayers go out to you because you know what? I know that, a lot of people are struggling mental health wise, and people who have gotten COVID, and for some of the subscribers who are on here who have gotten COVID, oh my gosh, right? Like it's crazy what's happening in the world, but we've got vaccines, man. We just got to get them deployed and start healing our countries. Each and every one of our country needs to heal, not just physically, but mentally and socially. And there's so much unrest around the world. So we need some positivity out there, guys. Spread it around, spread the positivity around. Arlene, hello from Maryland in the US. Hello there. How are you? I hope all is well. I hope your training is going well. Thanks for the nice comments today on my video. I appreciate that. Run Bart. Hello, David. Hey, how are you, man? Where are you coming from? Your videos inspire me. Well, thank you. And you guys inspire me to continue to do this because you like my videos. You comment. The more that you guys like, the more that you guys comment, it means the world to me, right? It really, really does. So if you're liking the video, hit the like. I keep saying it. I just can't help it because I'm just happy. But yeah, it means a lot for me, guys. It really does. Okay, so Arlene's got a question. How would you do a 24-hour using MAF? I have on late May. Basically, if I look at it, like I'm training, I'm going to be training for my 100-miler, right? I'm slowly starting to kind of get my legs under me again. So to run a 100-miler, yeah, there's a lot of training, and I'm going to be running for 24 hours. So, I mean, really work your way up to a, I don't know, 100, work your way up to it. I mean, it's not like you're going to be running 12 hours, right? I mean, what you may want to do is you may want to have some baby steps along the way, right? Like maybe do like a 50-miler, right? Because that'll put you on your feet for, at least 12 hours, 13 hours, maybe less, right? If you're faster. But yeah, I mean, that may be a good, to add that into your training. But honestly, look, your body is stronger than you think, right? Like the longest I had ever run was 6 hours and something when I did my 50K. And that was a year previous. So you're stronger than you think. You'll be able to go long. You're going to have to hit the pain cave. You're going to have to bottle a lot of self-doubt. And you may need a pacer, right? Depending on what you're planning on, if they allow it, right? So, and if not, then you need to have, things that you can tune in, right? So maybe record some mantras on your voice recorder on your phone, and then you can play it back, right? In your head, right? When you're listening to it, that may help you. Do whatever it is that you have to do to get there, but work your mileage slowly up, right? Eat healthy, get a lot of sleep, right? Because without those two, that 24 hours is going to be a very, very hard thing to achieve. Okay. So anyways, that's something that may help you. Okay. R. Sonder, from Manchester. Look at you go. Right on, man. That's awesome. Just started the heart rate based training. Really enjoying. Cheers. Yeah. Cheers to you too, man. Manchester. That's awesome. Love it. Man United. Man, there's always a big rivalry between Liverpool and Man United. Man, my dad, mom, I remember watching the Milk Cup years ago. with my parents, and man, it was like, whoo, it was a lot. Of my mom was cheering for Man United, and my dad was Liverpool. Even though my mom was from Liverpool, she just wanted to egg on my dad. Crazy times. Um, Runbart's from Belgium. Very cool, man. All the way across the sea. Look at that. It's amazing how we can connect. Okay, just so you know, I'm using a Wi-Fi connection at Starbucks, which is our well, it's not Starbucks. I'm drinking Starbucks, but it's Tim Hortons, which is our local um, coffee shop, basically in Canada. Tim Horton was a hockey player for the Toronto Maple Leafs way back in the day, and he died in a car crash on the way home from a hockey game. And I don't even know, I was maybe being in the 60s. Anyways, kind of diverged. Runbart says, question, can you share how you increase your weekly mileage? I like to run every other day. Yeah, so to up your mileage, just do it slowly. Like I would start, and I don't know your backstory, right? So for me, what I did is I slowly started working my way up by doing the following. I would run, you know, just say 5 kilometers one day, take a rest day. The next day, I would do another 5, take a rest day. Then I would bump it up, maybe do 8 kilometers, have a rest day. And you could do it that way, right? Or if you've already been running for a lot, you could do 10 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 10 kilometers. Just do 10 kilometers each and every day, right? Because that's 70 kilometers at the end of the week, right? If you ran every day. Or you could do 10 kilometers, rest, 10 kilometers, rest, 10 kilometers, rest, and then do a long run, right? Maybe do, 15, right? But again, they usually say, anywhere from 10 to 15% increase on your long run each week. But I find with math, it's okay. I can bump mine up even more. Like in the summer when I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Bart, what you may want to do is look at my video where I ran 100 miles in 1 week. It's in the video down below. You'll see it, right? Like I said, with all my videos, that may help you. Also, I have a training plan that helps kind of build up. And if you click on the community tab on my YouTube channel and then scroll down through the posts, you'll see a training plan. You may have to click the word saying show more on the, like after I typed in the words, the last couple of words may say show more, and that'll show you a link. But anyways, you'll see it right there. Okay. But yeah, so just slowly work up, right? And each week, maybe you bump it up 15%, right? Each week, and just slowly work your way up to it. And then some weeks, maybe throw in 2 back-to-back days where you run. So, you do 10 kilometers and then another 10 kilometers, take a rest day, and then 10 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and then another rest day, and then do a long run on the weekend. Sometimes you just have to slowly work your way up to it. But just again, just listen to your body. Your body will tell you. But again, you want to do it again, just kind of getting out of that comfort zone, going a little bit more. Okay, if you know what I mean. Like it's not hard. It's still nice and slow and easy. But just think about that. Okay. Hopefully that helps. All right, Marique. How do you keep your steady heart rate 137? I mean, ups and downs. Okay, look, you're going to have ups and downs. Not all of my runs have been a constant steady. Coming back from my ultra marathon at the end of October, it's been hard. Like I've actually turned off my heart rate so it doesn't show it on Strava on some of my runs because like, I don't know if my watch is out of whack, but I can't wait until after Christmas because I'm buying a Polar H10 heart rate strap because I don't know. I think something's up with my Garmin my Kuros replacement. I don't know. I've noticed it's been jumping really high but nothing's been going on. Like I'm still breathing the same, and it's got these weird spikes. So I'm not too sure, but I plan on getting a heart rate monitor strap. I can't do it until Christmas is over because that's when my wife tells me that I'm free to do what I need to do. So not all of them are steady, but what you can do is you can shuffle. So you can walk, right? If you know that you've got a hill coming up, you may want to start walking before you get to the hill. So that way, when you're going up the hill, it doesn't go over. Okay. Or if you do run walks, right, you could shuffle along, right? Like you could slowly run, work your way up, and then pull it back a little bit, right? That's another thing that you can do. Wow. Okay, guys, there's 20 of you guys on here. I want to say thank you to all of you. And if you can hit the like button, please hit the like button because it's going to help. And comment on the right-hand side. I'll get to your comments soon. Okay. So that's what you can with your heart rate. It's just this steady. I had to look at my watch a lot at the beginning to make sure I was in my zone. But you also can set up your watch so that way it's going to beep maybe a couple of beats before you get to your heart rate, so your max MAF, right? That's something that you could go ahead and do. And that's something that I've done. So those are just some of the things that may help. But again, everyone's going to be different. Arlene, nice. Okay, Arlene says, nice thing about timed races, 24 hours, is you can run, rest, run, and stop anytime. I'd like to get 62K in for being 62 years old. Well, I'll tell you, don't cap it there, because here's the thing, you can go longer, right? You could go longer. I think you could. In your mind, right? We can achieve what we set in our mind, right? So if we set in our mind that, we can run 80 kilometers in a certain amount of time, then you're telling yourself that you can do it and you're reinforcing it with these positive feelings. And while you're running, get rid of the self-doubt and just put in the positive stuff, because that will take you further. Okay. That's one thing I noticed that, when I ran my 50 miler, right? 80 kilometers, as soon as the self-doubt started to come in, I was like, whoa, all of a sudden things started going really bad for me. Right. So if I started to shift it to a positive, it was great. And one of the things I used to do when I was getting into that negative zone, I would take a look at my negative situation, and I would put it through a blender in my mind. Okay. Meaning I would scramble it. I would play it backwards in my mind, right? Listening to myself talk funny backwards. Like in my head, I'm thinking this. I would look at myself as if I was dressed up in a funny costume, like a clown suit, or dressed up as a chicken, or dressed up as whatever. And I would play it back in my mind and just scramble it all up. So it would be funny because I would just start laughing. And the more that I laughed, the better I kind of got out of my head and I started to enjoy the moment. So again, that's just one of my little tips that I was able to do that actually worked out really, really well. I was pretty happy with that. When I'm out for a long run, guys, I really do think of some crazy things. And that's one of those things that I thought about. Okay, Martin, hi from Germany. Enjoy your coffee. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. Got some almond milk. It's a decaf. So that's all good. And sorry for starting the live stream early today. I don't know if 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Toronto time where I am is good for you guys in the world. But anyways, that's what time I had to do today because of prior engagements of work and stuff, because that's where I am. All right, so what's our next one here? Priscilla, have you ever tried fasting to help with your weight loss? Yes. Did you watch today's video? Okay, watch today's video. You'll see what I'm talking about. And you can actually look back on my journey, because I have another video that I did back in the summertime that I talk about how I did that as well. So yes, I intermittent fast. I typically don't eat until about 1 o'clock, and then I eat to about 7 or 8. Again, I run fasted every day, so I don't eat anything until 1 o'clock the next day, right? So that's just something else that I've done. And I've also juiced, right? Like, putting vegetables through a juicing machine. It's really awesome. So I have done fasting to help. Actually, I've done a 7-day water fast. I've done a 10-day water fast, and I've done a couple of 3-day water fasts, and they all work. It's all cool. I tend to do it just to kind of reset my brain, reset my body. Because if I notice I start going down that rabbit hole of eating too much vegan junk food, then yeah, I got to pull it back and say, whoa, enough. And that's one of my tools that I use to help me kind of get back on track. And you lose a lot of water weight. Like the more carbs that you eat, you hold on to a lot of water. But when you're in ketosis, a lot of that water just disappears, right? So again, it's just something to think about. It's not for everybody, I'll tell you that. And don't do this because I'm doing it, right? Just make sure that you talk to your doctor or nutritionist or anybody that you get help from, right? Like, don't take my word. I'm just a real estate agent in Canada, doing crazy stuff. All right. So Arlene says, my MAF is 118, so slow. I walk mostly. Do you think raising it to 125 would be okay? If you're 62, I'm going to tell you, try adding 5 beats on, right? And Phil Maffetone has talked about this. So go ahead, try it out. The thing is, though, going back to your MAF tests. So every month, if you are improving with your MAF test, right, you know that it's working for you. So if you added 5 beats on to your MAF number, and then you do your MAF test, and then you do it the following month, and you found you got faster, then yeah, that's a good thing. But if you found that you're getting slower, then yeah, you got to get rid of that and go back to your original MAF number. So again, that's why doing your tests are very important. And again, you'll see my videos down below, and it'll show you how to do all of that. So all the videos are there. I'm going to have a hard time. Okay, so all of you guys know I suffer from dyslexia, right? So trying to read some of our YouTube names, it can be crazy. But anyways, I'm not even going to pronounce some, well, because I just butcher it, man. I just ruin it. Anyways, hi, David. Did my first 33-kilometer MAF today at 130 beats per minute, but cheated a little at 29, went up to 145. Hey, you know what? It happens, right? Nothing wrong with that. You did a long run at MAF, and then at 28, you went higher. Okay, that's fine. Nothing, it's not going to hurt anything, right? Like I said, as long as you are improving on your MAF tests every single month, boom, that's a good thing, right? It's just when you don't start seeing the results and things start going backwards, that's when you have to start questioning what you're doing. But again, you don't want to start training. And again, you want to train your body to burn fat as that fuel, right? That's where you want to be, right? Because again, you're building your aerobic engine. The higher you go, the longer you're in the gray zone or the anaerobic zone, you're not building your engine anymore, right? So, all right, where are we here? I'd love to. Okay, I would love to hear for running during winter times. Okay, so winter running is awesome. I love it. I just don't like the transition from fall to the winter. But now that we're in winter, I find that it's nice. My heart rate is a mess right now after my 50 miler, so I don't know what my heart rate's doing right now. Well, I do. It's all over, and I'm having to run slower, which is fine. I'll work my way back up. But the snow, you're dealing with the snow, and yeah, it can be tough. But I layer, right? So I run in multi layers, and when the more layers that you run in, it's easier to kind of take something off if you find yourself getting too warm. So I tend to kind of layer up, and I've got tights, right? You've seen it in my video, right? So I wear tights. They block the wind. They're warm, and they work really well. They're not that expensive either, I don't think. Again, everyone different everywhere, right? But winter, if you are dressed accordingly, you're going to be fine. One thing I would recommend, I don't know, it's just me, but when it gets cold and you get ice pellets and it starts hitting my eyeballs and I don't have glasses on when I'm running, man, that sucks. So I always make sure I try to wear glasses, whether they're my regular glasses or whether they're just my other ones. And these are just some cheap pair I have because I tend to lose glasses a lot. I like the Rokas. Rokas are great. They're like 35 Canadian. They're really nice, but I've already lost a pair this year. So it happens. But yeah, so get good mitts, good gloves. Yeah. And when I say that, I'm wearing these on some of my runs right now, and these are just like dollar store. Like we have dollar stores in Canada, and I paid $2 for those pair of gloves, and they're great. And running in like -5, perfectly fine. It's just when it gets colder, that's when I wear my Saucony gloves, and that works out okay. David's got a question. What did you do in order to study and improve your gait? Okay. Just so you know, I don't look pretty when I run. One arm is like straight as a board, and this one is kind of like, I don't know, running, it goes lower. If you look at me from the front, one arm's higher than the other. So I have things to improve. And I think that's because I used to run with a handheld water bottle in my right hand. And for some reason, it's just kind of stayed I don't know, steady. And my other one, I never had anything on it. So it just kind of did whatever I don't know. So my upper form sucks. Like I don't look pretty at all. But my gait, running in my Ultra Torrens and my Ultra Superiors and shortening my stride has really, really helped me as a runner become more of a 4-foot runner or mid-foot runner. That's not landing on a heel. So making sure that I'm running like this. I don't know if you guys can see like that, right? So, oops, yeah, here we go. So if I'm running like this along the road, as opposed to kind of running like this, oops, like this, because if you lean from your ankles, right, you'll fall forward. Basically, running is just falling. Controlled falling is all it is, right? So as long as your forefoot is falling under, it's like riding a bicycle, right? If your feet are always underneath your hips, right, that's kind of how you want to run, right? And there's other videos I'm sure out there. Maybe I'll do one for you guys, but that's just something that I've done. So kind of lean, right? Don't kind of lean over like, from the chest. You kind of lean from the ankles and try to make sure that your pelvis isn't kind of backwards, because sometimes people have a pelvis that's kind of like sits back. You kind of need to kind of push it kind of forward a little bit. Anyways, it's known as a pelvic tilt, and I think Sage Kennedy talks about that. He has that. So yeah, so I don't know, Dave. I don't know if that helps. The other thing that you can do is if you're doing 80-20, if you add in some speed work in and go on the track, that can also help with your gait as well. If you're doing some high intensity runs as well, that'll help. But again, maybe you want to film yourself to see kind of how you're landing on the ground. Run Bart, enjoy your day. See you see you next live stream. All right, man. Have a good one. Hello. I'm getting COVID symptoms. What should I do? I'm really scared. Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, you got to listen to your health professionals and whatever they're saying. I've never had COVID. I don't know. I mean, obviously rest, right? A lot of rest. Drink a lot. I don't know. I mean, I would talk to your doctor, right? Talk to your doctor, find out what you can do. I'm not too sure. But maybe get tested, right? Tested is an important thing. Hopefully you're in a country where you can get tested and it's not going to cost you anything. And then self isolate. That's the only thing I could think of. Again, reach out to your doctor and go to the testing sites, and maybe that'll help. But definitely go get tested. Arlene, do you use a chest strap or watch heart rate? My Cinto 5 watch wrist heart rate seems to be pretty accurate, except first 2 to 3 minutes. The reason the first 2 to 3 minutes aren't accurate is because you need to do warm up. So if you warm up for 15 minutes, right, your heart rate will stabilize, and that's one of the things with MAF as well. So before you ever do a MAF test, always make sure you do a 15-minute warm up, and that's like a walk. Like it's way below what your MAF is, right? Like, so it just gets the heart rate stabilized. Also, you want to make sure you've got good connection with your skin when you're using a heart rate strap or on your wristwatch. And also, you make sure that the sensors are clean on the bottom. Otherwise, it doesn't have that good solid connection. And if your wristwatch moves around a bit, that's another issue. It can be off as well. Chest strap, just need a chest strap. Watch to monitor heart rate and running, not necessarily to record. Thanks. Very cool. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just looking. Wait, I missed a question here. I use a H10 chest strap, looking for a watch to pair with it. Thinking of Loop 2 watch. Any suggestions? I like my Kuros watch. You can get a Kuros Pace. It's the lightest watch on the market, and I think it's only $200. Like, it's really inexpensive. So it's called Pace 2, Pace 2, and it's made by Kuros. So that's or you can go for the Apex or whatever, but that's what I would do. Yep, go get tested. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we got to do, man. We just got to make sure that we're we're looking after ourselves. All right, guys, listen, you guys are awesome, and thanks for joining in. I'm gonna run. I gotta scooch because I gotta get off to my appointment now. So thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you got some good value with this, and I really do appreciate all of you guys. Right. So again, thanks for the likes, thanks for the comments. Keep them coming because they really do make a difference to my videos, and they start to do a thing of their own. So always like it and comment if you like them. Like, I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Thank you all for joining. Appreciate it. And like I always say, get out and run. See ya.